Calling the council as a whole committee meeting for September 22nd, 2020, to order at 7 p.m. All members from council are present except for Councilman Evers, who is absent and excused. All members of the administration are present except for Chief Building Official Dave Mann is absent and excused. Does anyone recording this meeting as a courtesy to the public? We let your fellow attendees know they're being recorded. Saying no one, the city of Eastlake is recording this meeting. Under legislation proposed, we have legislation number 9-22-01, an ordinance amending section 155.01 general administration. Yes, I'll take that. So all this would do for the regular council people, this would bring all the council salaries effective on January 1st, 2024, up to state minimum requirement for 1 year of service. So to give you basically all council people are on spend will receive their credit for service starting in 2024, and then the only other change there is it would change council salary would increase $300 per year every year beginning January 1st, 2025. I think that's something that should, if the city's in a different financial position than they're in now, council can always rescind it and change in the future, but we've had talked about doing this for a long time, and the city is going to do this and be proactive. Any questions? Seeing none. Legislation number 09-22-02, an ordinance for a cash incentive grant agreement.
That form will be relocating from Willoughby to the old, going to be for like business practices, moving out of there. That board is moving in. We met with them yesterday. We met with them yesterday, and they are excited to come in the city. We met with the building department. They have a lot of build out and different things that will go on there. We're looking for the incentive. I know that what they put down for their estimated payroll for year 3 is $5 million. So, and then their employees will be here. They're hoping, if they're not hoping, they want to be in by the end of this year. And the interesting thing is, I told them I'm going to go to campus to look at. They do 11,000 cans of Dr. Pepper in a minute that they're buying that they sell. So it's going to be an interesting place to go check it out. So that's we've been working with them for about 6-7 months, Charlie. And we're working through some details. They were working through some details on that sale. So we're looking forward to them coming.
So they will actually be bottling the can product here?
Yes, this Dr. Pepper.
Any questions for the mayor? Okay. Seeing none. Legislation number 09-22-03, an ordinance for the issuance of sale bonds to refund certain outstanding taxable capital facilities, series 2011. You might do the other one too, which is 09-22-04, an ordinance for the issuance of sale bonds to refund certain outstanding taxable capital facilities, series 2013.
Hi, Gavin. We have two sets of bonds, as you heard, the 2011 and the 2013. Our interest rates range from 2% to 5.75%. Our debt extends past the actual agreement with the captain on the lease. So therefore, this refinancing of the debt would do two things. One is obviously going to lower the interest rate. We can say, in total, with everything that we want to do, we can save more than $500. It'll be a direct placement. We're not putting it out for the general public. It'll be sitting with banks that will bid on it. They hope to have it done by October 29th. That's the expectation of closing based on your approval of this. But the other thing that's going to do is it will make sure that those sets of bonds, the termination match up with the stadium date, which is 2027. So we're accomplishing, making sure that we pay the debt with the money that comes in from the stadium versus having debt and not necessarily having the money coming in to pay it. And then taking advantage of the lower interest rate. So that is what your blessing is like.
Any questions from Mr. Gill? Okay. Thank you, Mr. Gill. Move on to legislation number 09-22-05, a resolution for an auction on GovDeals.com.
Sale of the 2006, old police car.
Any questions for that? Thank you, none. Moving on to legislation number 09-22-06, a resolution for a contract with Huffman Equipment Rental Incorporated.
Thank you, Mr. President. This is for, protecting the slope of Willowwood Beach, demolishing the bathroom there. It's also for repairs to the Galilee and Dyke. The section is on private property. Another section is on city property. The private property will be back charged the taxes. Huffman was the low bidder, apparently, but then we checked and found that Cap Steel was even lower. We contacted them and they had a math error in 3 sections of their bid. We contacted Mr. Clymer, who advised us that they could withdraw their bid and Huffman therefore was the lowest responsible bidder with recommending the contract plus all 3 alternates.
You want any clarification on this? I know we talked about it. You good?
Yes.
Okay.
Any questions for the mayor or for Mr. Boyer? Okay. Hearing none. Council as a whole committee meeting adjourned at 7:07 p.m. On the regular council meeting of February 22nd, 2020, to order at 7:08 p.m. Mr. Spot will lead us in the pledge of allegiance. Mr. Zerley, please call roll.
Mr. Scott?
Here.
Here.
Mr. Miller?
Here.
Mr. Overstreet? Here. Mr. Zerby, yes. Here. And President Myers?
There. Is there a motion to approve the agenda of the regular council meeting September 22nd, 2020?
So moved.
Is there a second? Mr. Zerley, please call roll.
Mr. Zerby, yes. Mr. Scott?
Yes.
Mr. Kucinich? Yes. Mr. Miller?
Yes.
Mr. Overstreet? Yes. President Myers?
Yes. The motion to carry the agenda is approved. We have no minutes to approve at this time. The next scheduled council of the whole committee meeting is scheduled for Tuesday, October 13th, 2020 at 7 p.m. The regular council meeting immediately following the adjournment of the council of the whole committee meeting. Move on to committee reports. I believe there was a ECDC meeting.
Thank you, Mr. President. Yes, there was an ECDC committee meeting today at 5:30 at City Hall. There were a couple items. First is there is an opening on the ECDC committee. I will leave it over there and council president, and we'll make that position aware to the public. We also discussed a couple upcoming events. The Free Kids Grab and Go Run starts up again. It starts up on Saturday, October 3rd from 12 to 2. Aleshi's sponsoring it, so the kids will get a meal from Aleshi's, and also they can do a drive-through trick-or-treat at the same time, and then it's held at Little Praise. Also, there is a benefit, a Halloween fundraiser benefit at the Eastside Dog Park that's coming up on October 24th from 12 to 4 p.m., and that information will be posted. That I'm open to questions.
Any questions for Mr. Zerley? Hearing none. Move on to council facility with the support board meeting.
Yeah, the fourth party met on Thursday, September 17th. A couple of things here. The Port Authority still would like us to consider ordinance regarding trees and debris that would be potentially going into the river and flood or something along those lines. Our trees be cut down, otherwise it go into the river. Remember that the Port Authority can end up bearing the expense of that. The council liaison from the city of Willoughby structure, and they can then bill it to the residents via the county auditor. If the city has to do the removal. And we would want something similar, except we have to alter it for going into the river. So it'd be a modified version of that ordinance. But I would request at this time that we schedule an ordinance committee meeting to discuss such an ordinance. It could be maybe before the next city council meeting or something along those lines. But,
Did you send me that one that you sent me the one?
I just said that to you.
You did, it's pretty good.
I think that's you.
I remember you mentioned it.
Yeah, we have to do a modified version of that, but it doesn't quite do what we want. I mean, we could talk about structures, we want to do that, but, the Port Authority is more interested in the things that would be falling into the river. So the Port Authority is requesting that we schedule an ordinance committee meeting to discuss that matter. Also, we had an interested individual attend the meeting who was interested in filling the vacant position. And also, the mayor and myself and was there last night. We spoke to an additional interested individual, and that individual is a member of the Sugar and Watershed Partners. She's employed through them. And I think she would be my preferred addition to the board. And this vacancy is only for the next 3 months, so I think if we could consider that position maybe at our next council meeting, I would have them in time for the October, November, and December meetings, and then if that person works out, then they could be reappointed for the next term. So I would request that be added to the next council agenda to vote to install a new member for the unexpired term that was up by Bill Holich. And apart from that, I'm open for questions regarding the board.
Does the Board of Recharge stack at all for any of the?
I don't believe they do. Yeah, I think that's part of their budget.
Is Willoughby the only other community that has, along the river that has legislation pertaining to, trees?
The only thing I know of, and we actually did discuss that we would suggest the watershed partners prepare model ordinances for such things that would be for the entire watershed pretty much, because the debris that falls into the river and other municipalities downstream or upstream ends up coming down to us. So, and it ends up being our responsibility I should say the Port Authority's responsibility to clean it. So we're working with the watershed to try and get model ordinances for other municipalities as well. But Willoughby is the only one that I know that has any such ordinance at this time. And according to the council person, they actually just enacted that recently within the last couple of years.
I've been having a conversation with former Mayor Anderson, which is the new port director for the county. So they're looking at some stuff possibly for next year on some dredging and different things. So that would help in that part of it. But, just so it's on their radar, I know that they've talked to Cuyahoga County, getting ready to eliminate one of their like a sifter of the spill. They were looking at possibly trying to put that on the river bottom somewhere. So I know they're in discussions with that. That may help the dredging. I have to look to see more. I'm going to talk to Murphy Al about that ordinance and Jason brought up. Had a chance to do that then.
Yeah, I'm just curious if possibly maybe some of these communities, even for instance on the west side of Cleveland, some of these other rivers, the Rocky River, Black River, things like that, if they enact some, ordinances pertaining to, particular situations.
Well, we just actually, in Tom's where this, we had to make sure that it was our responsibility. We actually just had to take a tree out of Corporation Creek, that was like $8,000 to move. That was right behind someone's property. The tree fell and it was disturbing the movement of the creek and eroding the gentleman's backyard. Did that a little bit ago.
Any questions for Councilman Kucinich? Okay. Seeing none, we'll move on to recognition of the public. The floor is now open for recognition of the public. Everybody speakers, all remarks will be directed to the chair, and not all personalities, and then we'll get you 3 minutes per person, 30 minutes total. Is there anyone who wishes to address council? No one? Okay. All right, we'll move on to legislation proposal. Will the clerk please read legislation number 09-22-01?
An ordinance amending section 155.01, general administration of the codified ordinances of the city of East Lake, specifically subsection D, and declaring an emergency.
Is there a motion to suspend the rule requiring separate readings and readings in full?
So moved.
Is there a second? Second. Mr. Zern, please call the roll.
Mr. Stein?
Yes.
Mr. Gall?
Yes.
Mr. Kucinich?
Yes.
Mr. Overstreet?
Yes.
Mr. Zerman? Yes. And President Myers?
Yes. Is there a motion to adopt?
Move to adopt.
Is there a second? Second. Mr. Zern, please call the roll.
Mr. Stein?
Yes.
Mr. Gall?
Yes.
Mr. Kucinich?
Yes.
Mr. Overstreet? Yes. Mr. Zerman? Yes. And President Myers?
Yes, the motion is carried. The legislation is adopted. Mr. Zern, please read legislation number 09-22-02.
An ordinance authorizing and directing the mayor and director of finance to enter into an agreement for a tax incentive grant with Bevcorp LLC and declaring an emergency.
Is there a motion to suspend the rule requiring separate readings and readings in full?
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
Will Mr. Zern, please call the roll.
Mr. Overstreet?
Yes.
Mr. Stein?
Yes.
Mr. Kucinich?
Yes.
Mr. Gully?
Yes.
Mr. Zerman? Yes. And President Myers?
Yes. Is there a motion to adopt? Is there a second?
Second.
Will Mr. Zern, please call the roll.
Mr. Overstreet?
Yes.
Mr. Stein?
Yes.
Mr. Kucinich?
Yes.
Mr. Gully?
Yes.
Mr. Zerman? Yes. And President Myers?
Yes, the motion is carried. The legislation is adopted. Will Mr. Zern, please read legislation number 09-22-03.
An ordinance providing for the issuance and sale of bonds to the maximum principal amount of $5,650,000 for the purpose of refunding or debt charges, saving certain of the city's outstanding capital facilities improvement refunding bond series 2011 dated December 29, 2011, declaring an emergency.
Is there a motion to suspend the rule requiring separate readings and readings in full? Is there a second?
Second.
Will Mr. Zern, please call the roll.
Mr. Gully?
Yes.
Mr. Stein?
Yes.
Mr. Kucinich?
Yes.
Mr. Overstreet? Yes. Mr. Zerman? Yes. And President Myers?
Yes, is there a motion to adopt? Move to adopt. Is there a second?
Second.
Mr. Zern, please call the roll.
Mr. Gully?
Yes.
Mr. Stein?
Yes.
Mr. Kucinich?
Yes.
Mr. Overstreet? Yes. Mr. Zerman? Yes. And President Myers?
Yes, the motion is carried. The legislation is adopted. Will Mr. Zern, please read legislation number 09-22-04.
A resolution authorizing and directing the mayor and director of finance to enter into a contract with Huffman Equipment Rental Inc., the most responsible and lowest best bidder for the Willow Lake Beach shoreline. An ordinance providing for the issuance and sale of bonds in the maximum principal amount of $2,900,000 for the purpose of refunding certain of the city's outstanding taxable capital facilities refunding bond series 2013 dated January 10, 2013, and declaring an emergency.
Is there a motion to suspend the rule requiring separate readings and readings in full?
So moved.
Is there a second? I'll second that. Mr. Zern, please call the roll.
Mr. Gully?
Yes.
Mr. Kucinich?
Yes.
Mr. Stein?
Yes.
Mr. Overstreet? Yes. Mr. Zerman? Yes. And President Myers?
Yes. Is there a motion to adopt?
Move to adopt.
Is there a second? Second. Will Mr. Zern, please call the roll.
Mr. Gully?
Yes.
Mr. Kucinich?
Yes.
Mr. Stein?
Yes.
Mr. Overstreet?
Yes.
Mr. Zerman? Yes. And President Myers?
Yes, the motion is carried. The legislation is adopted. Will Mr. Zern, please read legislation number 09-22-05.
A resolution authorizing and directing the Director of Public Safety or his duly authorized representative to proceed with the solicitation of bids through an online public auction for the City of East Lake Police Department for the sale of one 2006 Ford Crown Victoria and declaring emergency.
Is there a motion to suspend the rule requiring separate readings and readings in full?
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
Mr. Zern, Zerman, please call the roll.
Mr. Overstreet? Yes. Mr. Spivey?
Yes.
Mr. Kusinek?
Yes.
Mr. Gully?
Yes.
Mr. Zerman, yes, and President Myers.
Yes. Is there a motion to adopt?
Move to adopt.
Is there a second?
Second.
Mr. Zerman, please call the roll.
Mr. Overstreet? Yes. Mr. Spivey?
Yes.
Mr. Kusinek?
Yes.
Mr. Gully?
Yes.
Mr. Zerman, yes, and President Myers.
Yes, the motion is carried, the legislation is adopted. Will Mr. Zerman please read legislation number 09-22-06?
A resolution authorizing and directing the mayor and director of finance to enter into a contract with Huffman Equipment Rental Inc., the most responsible and lowest and best bidder for the Little Lake Beach shoreline retrievement project in a total amount of $280,146.50 for the base and for calls 1, 2, and 3 declaring emergency.
Is there a motion to suspend the rule requiring separate reading and reading in full? So. Is there a second? Second. Mr. Zerman, please call the roll.
Mr. Kusinek?
Yes.
Mr. Gully?
Yes.
Mr. Spivey?
Yes.
Mr. Overstreet? Yes. Mr. Zerman, yes, and President Myers.
Yes. Is there a motion to adopt? I move to adopt. Is there a second? Second. Will Mr. Zerman, please call the roll.
Mr. Kusinek?
Yes.
Mr. Gully?
Yes.
Mr. Spivey?
Yes.
Mr. Overstreet? Yes. Mr. Zerman, yes, and President Myers.
Yes, the motion is carried, the legislation is adopted. We have no pending legislation, we have no unfinished business, we have no new business. We're going to move on to administrative reports. Our first report is from our Mayor and Safety Director, Doug Farr.
Thanks, Mr. President. Welcome to this evening's meeting. First, I'd like to thank Caroline for working on these bonds for the last 9 months to get this handled. Obviously, it'll take off the 4 years, save us over $500,000 for the stadium lease debt. And again, the best thing about it is it coordinates with the end of the lease of the captain. Without that happening, it would have been, we could possibly have no team and still be paying for the debt of the stadium 4 years after. So, again, I want to thank her for working on it. I know with everything else we got going around here, that was a tough task to finish. Also, I know some of you are aware, and I'll send you information on Fire Marshal Doug Drake's wife passed after battle with cancer over the weekend. So our condolences and thoughts are with his family. Also, I don't know if any of you knew Larry Green. He was the former EMA director for Lake County. He was one of the first people that reached out to me when I was mayor. Actually, he was one of the talking to go on to the Homeland Security committee that I'm on with Chief Whittington. He just retired in January and passed away 8 months later. So our thoughts and prayers are with this family also. Update on Dave a little is that he is starting to move a little more in hospital. Still having some difficulties on certain things. It's going to be a long road. So again, our thoughts. I've talked to his wife 3 times. I've stopped over to the house talking to her. We started doing videos here at the City Hall to give to his wife to show Dave, so he gets more aware of his surroundings. So we're going to continue to do that. Actually, I ordered some hats with the city logo that we're selling, and the proceeds from that will go to Dave's family. So we have the city emblem on the back and the front, and then the back will say Dave Strong. I've already had one of the contractors say he'd buy all the hats. We'll put those up as soon as they come in. They should be in about a month. And then I also ordered with the CARES Act money, and I'll give it to each councilman so they can hand out our resolution. We got masks with the East Lake logo on. Will be coming, and then we're looking into some sanitizer too that we hand out also. Speaking of the CARES Act money, we've been working on our list, and we need to have everything encumbered by October 15th. I did hear a rumor, though, Carolina might go to November for the encumbrances, and have to have everything bought by the end of the year. Some of the things especially the vehicles, since everyone is purchasing vehicles, there's not a lot of vehicles out there, and you can't order them and hope they're going to come in. So, I know the chief's been looking at a few things, we did we gave the PO for the e-tickets, work with the Louis Court, that'll be obviously touchless tickets. They'll have computer screen comes up with people's license, goes right to the court. And then we're staff meeting yesterday, we're trying to get everything, obviously, for next meeting, for everything else we need to have by next meeting, so, we're meeting on that every day, getting everything handed in, so we have that for next meeting. Hopefully they do extend it to November, and then there's also, talk that there may be a third round here at that point. Dave Russ Rogers talked about today on our weekly call with the mayor's managers, so we'll keep you updated on all of that. We didn't call the voting, we did put it on our social media, though camp is closed and the community center has not been open. The voting for the November election will take place still at camp and at the community center. Camp after that would probably have to be moved. Community center depends on what kind of room we have after the senior center moves in there. We'll work with the election board. But the group that did buy into the properties of Washington and CAP has been they want to be community involved, so we'll have more information as their development come in too for the houses they want to build in both those areas. We talked about Bedford. We had a meeting last night in the harbor with Tom, Jason, Todd, and myself to go over the second phase of Galena storm sewers that will start on October 5th, and when Tom before you can do a little more. We actually had probably 25 people there, at least 40. We had 40 there from the harbor. We had a good meeting with outside and their social distancing and everything. So good meeting, and like I told them, it's like this is probably going to be one of the areas where it's going to be torn up the most because everything is in the harbor, how narrow it is. Honestly, we'll work with police and fire. I told them that last night. If there were any issues, we gave out phone numbers in case there's any issues. So we're looking forward to that being done. It's on time. Will be July 21st July 30th of 2021. But they told Tom that on July 3rd and 4th they're having a big 100-year party that we're going to do. So it should, Tom said he'll try to get by that. Obviously, we know better. Hopefully, we have not a harsh winter. Also, we did announce that we will be having trick or treat on Saturday, October 31st from 6 or 8. A lot of things always amaze me. We post a lot of things on social media, and this actually has won the views of over 13,000 views, 155 shares, and just how happy people are that we're going to trick or treat. So, as I told a few people that called in, you have to make a decision what you want to do for your children and or how you want to hand out candy. So everyone has to take responsibility. That concludes my report, and I'm open for questions.
Are there any questions from the room? Okay. Thank you, Mayor. We'll move on to our fire chief, Kevin.
Thank you, Mr. President. It's very nice to see all of you. I hope that all of you and your families are doing well through this, physically and mentally. This has been somewhat of a challenge for all of us. More specific, I appreciate all your support. I know that with the council meeting being somewhat odd, and especially initially, being able to over here to present stuff, I know Mary's been trying to handle it. I definitely appreciate the support. It's been an interesting year from the perspective that we've actually been able to make some strides. You think just the opposite. So I definitely appreciate, again, all your support, and I definitely hope you all doing well. Trucks are in service. I know we haven't probably talked in a long time. Everything's went well with that. The transition's went well with that. I hope that someday soon, we've talked a lot amongst the directors about doing some type of an open house where we have a remaking of the community once we get the green light to do so. And I'd like to be able to show off some of that stuff. Again, it's been interesting to see that we've actually been able to make some strides. As far as Lieutenant Drake's wife, we haven't followed their family. This has been, they've had to deal with this a long time. And so over the last couple of weeks, her health definitely took a sudden turn. And so she did pass away home with her family around her. And so far they're doing well. I think as well as we expected. He does have a service at Mount Carmel on Friday at 10 o'clock, but he, again, has expressed that once we get green lights to start being normal again, he'd like to do a celebration of life for his wife, and so I'm sure that it'll open to everybody. But I would just ask, you know, if you could think about, you know, saying a little prayer about him, because it's, it'd be a challenge for him and his kids that have to fill in the blank. Other than that, I think that, as far as, the coronavirus goes, I think that we made some additional changes initially when we first knew we were probably starting to see cases, and, I think that, early on, the mayors and managers were able to identify vendors that we can trust. And so we've been aggressive in making sure we have ample storage of PPE, and we've not had any problems with that as far as managing PPE. And as a matter of fact, we stored up, for the winter months, anticipating that we're gonna have somewhat of a challenging flu season that has been somewhat expected. So, the guys are hanging in very well. I'm definitely proud of them, like I always am, as far as meeting the challenges, and everybody, you know, countywide is trying to do their best. The department in this county is split overtaxed, and so, you know, we get the updates, and, you know, we've been able to identify the positive cases in the community. We've stayed up on their progress, and so I'd like to think that all of us are doing what we need to do to venture through this. So, again, we'll show you that I've been around. If you have any questions or any thoughts, if you have anything here, I'm always available for you guys. I mean, I think the mayor has been good about trying to cover, so I think that we've all agreed that maybe it's time to get back to the game here, so my plan is to do so. But again, I wish you all well, and if there's any questions for me, please let me know.
Any questions for the chief? Thanks, Chief. We'll move on to our police chief, Larry Wright.
A couple different things. We received a $2,000 grant from Walmart for our community Christmas, which should help this year, but more than likely it'll be more difficult to collect than it has in the past, so that will help make sure we have enough money in that fund to still make an impact. Our Chevy Tahoes are painted. Hopefully by next meeting we should be done and outfitted. Got the last of the equipment in the other day, and next week they're coming in to do the install. Between regular turnover now with the CARES Act purchases, you know, the install companies and the car companies are pretty busy, so hopefully that will be done by next council meeting. I'll update then. Our Cannon car was involved in an accident. The driver was another city employee, was a little banged up, but wasn't hurt, too bad. The car is pretty well totaled, so we're gonna be looking for a replacement car for that. The good news is the car was getting towards the end of life, and we're probably gonna need a new car by next year, anyway, but fortunately, again, no one was seriously injured. And as the mayor said, we'll be looking into getting some, a couple cars to the CARES Act as well. We still do have two cloth interior cars that, I think we can make a good justification for the proper use of that money. One of our officers, Officer Fawcett, brought up a couple months ago about doing a trunk or treat with police cars. I put it out to the chiefs. Presently, we have 16 commits from the county agencies, and at least one cruiser each. We're going to set up at the city lot, have a area for parking, one way in, a different way out. We'll have some officers and auxiliaries there to assist with that, and then different officers from different communities that hand out candies, and it's going to be posted on the community website as well. We'll get it posted on ours. It's October 11th, which is a Sunday, from 6 p.m. to 8 p.m. So we hope to that a lot of the community is able to stop at a certain time and still, you know, stay within some comfort zones to have a little bit of a normal Halloween within that normal time. So I have no questions.
Any questions for the chief? Thank you, Chief. Move on to our city engineer, Tom White.
Thank you, Mr. President, members of the council, Mr. Mayor. As the mayor noted, we had our resident meeting yesterday, which went quite start digging around the end of October, and hopefully towards January have Galilee done on both sides, so that'll help if the water comes over the dike, especially then. Stevens Boulevard, this is east of 91 over Willoughby. We're going to be wrapping up Valley Parkway pretty shortly. We're supposed to pour the other half Thursday, and then we're waiting for them to be in East Ohio. Depending on when they show up, will depend on whether we open up the rest of the road this year. If they show up soon and get work done soon, then I'll make a recommendation to the mayor that we ask them to proceed. If it pushes on in November, I recommend not opening the road, just so we don't get stuck with it open and no paving. As far as Stevens West, that's all under pavement from 91 to Jackson, except for the surface courses. They've been busy raising manholes. They have a few things to do. We found a sinkhole we need to repair, and they're working on that. I don't have a paving schedule for the surface course, but it's their intention to finish the whole thing from 91 to Jackson this year, striping and everything. They're continuing now to work up towards Lakeshore Boulevard. We turned in two OPWC applications, one for St. Lawrence Boulevard from Lakeshore Boulevard to Hillcrest. We'll call it our Hail Mary pass, as for the sun, the moon, and the stars. So hopefully we can maybe pull that in. We also put in for Riverdale. And then the sites 1 and 7, which are going to be putting storm sewer outfalls, which were bid, which you approved, will be getting underway shortly, so we can finish the full winter system. And with that, I'll open for questions.
Any other questions, Mr. White?
The Hillcrest is probably going to stop right before Councilman Spot and South. That's why.
All right, well, I got it. All right.
We're all run to your house.
As it should. Thank you, Mr. Coyer. We'll move on to our Finance Director, Carol Archibald.
Thank you. The finance department's been busy working with, obviously, monitoring the COVID costs and making sure that we're close in terms of what we're getting in. We also had to upgrade some of our software and hardware for the servers in order to accept the new software that you so graciously allowed us to get for the finance department. So the finance department has just been doing a lot of unusual different things going on now. And the IT people that we rely on have been a little busy. They're kind of like everybody else in the city where they're standing there going, well, can I get the IT guy in because I want to make these improvements to our system. So we've been harassing them and getting them to move as quickly as possible. And I'm sure that we'll need to make our deadlines in terms of getting our software and such installed. Oh, we also need an audit next year because we got federal money, and it keeps us over the allowable limit. So now we also have to pay for an audit next year because we've got this money. Plus, that's a small cost in comparison to what else we have. So.
Any questions for the Finance Director? Seeing none. Last but not least, our Law Director, Ray Clem.
Mr. President, Council, Mayor, we just have the BZA this week is the power wash. They have a number of variances and trying to create configuration of the property. So that's tomorrow. And because of tomorrow, I think the landing just has a lot going on it. That's the right.
Small lots will be good for Hudson.
Yeah, I don't think anything all that exciting for planning. Other than
Any questions for Law Director? Anybody have anything else? Seeing none, this meeting is adjourned at 7:42.
Hey, Randy, you were late. You didn't let us know.